It's still.
There we go.
There we go. Hey, gang, this is Andy over at Facebook Live TV show. I am so happy to be here with you in Brea, California, where it has finally cooled down. It had been 100 and something degrees for the last couple days. As you know, if you're watching the World Series, it's been like 103. I guess tomorrow during the World Series, it's supposed to rain, but we finally cooled off and I can be back in my studio. That's one of the reasons why you don't always see me in my studio, is because when it's 103 degrees outside, it's 203 degrees in my garage. I mean, my studio. Did I just call it my garage? All right. And with me, as you can see, I have the lovely Sue Ferreira, and she's coming to us from beautiful Canada and Victoria Island, right?
Vancouver Island, Victoria, the town.
Oh, I had the worst time with Victoria, Vancouver, and wherever else we were when we were in there. I get them all mixed up. Oh, I got to tell you, I just got an email from an attorney who wants to hire me for a case, and guess where he is? Victoria, British Columbia.
Come and stay.
I'm going to have to come and visit. And so what we're going to talk about, you can see in the title, is that we're going to be talking about YouTube SEO. Now, I've been hearing that SEO is dead, but I think that's in the relationship to website SEO or something like that. But we're going to solve all this because we're with somebody that really knows her stuff, the great Sue, right? And Sue, you've been doing some stuff with YouTube SEO in particular, that you've been seeing some good results. And some of these things you've learned on your own and others you've learned from other people. Would you mind sharing? Well, actually, you know what I want to do first? I want those of you that I'm so used to seeing you that I know you. There may be a couple people that have no idea who you are. You're just some broad, like you like to say, that's on here just spouting your stuff. Why don't you tell us who you are, Sue, and what it is you do right now?
Okay, I'll do the quick intro. My name is Sue Ferreira. I've known Andy now. It's been my pleasure to know Andy probably for about 4 or 5 years. And yep. We kind of learned video together in many ways. In my history, people think I was crazy, or I am crazy now. I used to be a physician for about 45 years. And then the thought of doing nothing for 30, 40 years of retirement, if I'm lucky to make it that far, just didn't appeal to me. And I know how powerful video is. So about 3 to 4 years ago, I started switching into using video to help especially women my age and a bit younger who grew up before the web, and who this whole video thing is totally intimidating. You know, like, I don't want to be seen on camera. I don't like the tech. But in fact, today, as Andy and I know, video is, you know, if you're in business, it's a must. So, you know, my mantra is, if this old biddy can do it, you can do it too. And that's where I've been going. And I really love it. But I think Andy hit the nail on the head about SEO and things. I see an awful lot. I love YouTube. Now, Facebook Live is great. Andy and I both do that too. But we all know that stuff with Facebook kind of disappears down the timeline pretty quickly. Now you can download your video and from Facebook Live and do various other things with it. But in terms of, and I think it's James Wedmore who always says this, Facebook video is like the hair. It's instant. You're out there, which is what we're doing now. But it disappears down the timeline. So it's here and gone, just like a hare you might meet in the forest. Whereas YouTube is the old tortoise, you know, slow but sure, and eventually it wins the race. Sorry, I've recently had the cold. So I really like both mediums, but I certainly like YouTube probably more eventually, because once you're up on YouTube, your video there is like this little mini me. I call them that little mini me, right? So once you put a video on YouTube, it's there forever. And it's there marketing you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week in 24-hour time zones. That's pretty powerful. It's not disappearing down a timeline. And the other real big plus about YouTube is YouTube's a search engine. You don't go to Facebook and type in how to fix a washer in a tap, right? But you do that in YouTube. So you go searching for something particular in YouTube, and it might be video, whatever it is. But that doesn't happen in Facebook, which is another big plus of YouTube. But what I see is, especially amongst, you know, ladies, businesswomen that I know, is they'll put a video up on YouTube and think that's it. And if you come away from anything with this little chat we're having today, it's to say, don't do that. Because if you put up a video on YouTube and don't do any search engine optimization, you've totally wasted your time. And I see people who've got quite a big presence on in other parts of the world, as speakers or who got big presences on Facebook. And you go and look at their YouTube and they've got, I don't know, 640 videos and 2 subscribers. That is a waste of time. I don't know if you see that too, Andy.
I do. I see it on one of my own channels. Or on one channel, I have thousands of subscribers. On another one, I have, I think myself and probably one of my dogs I trained as subscribed. Yeah, and so that's when I really started looking into this thing, because I realized that, and the one that I see lots of traffic is on my dog training site, which I started that right when YouTube started. I was kind of like Facebook Live. I was right on the heels of the starting point. And so I better have some subscribers since I started that early, right? It's taken that many years, but it just has always been there. I've never really had to work at it. But now that I'm moving into the Zero to Hero school and teaching people how to use Facebook Live and how to use Facebook groups and that kind of stuff, and knowing that my videos also need to be on YouTube, I realized, wait, I don't know as much about YouTube as I probably should since I've been on there so long. And so that's why I got a hold of you and said, what are you doing? Because I see that you have a lot of views on your YouTube. So I got a lot of people on Facebook that kind of pay attention to what I'm doing, but I don't nearly have the same following on YouTube. And that's kind of how we got to this point that we're at right now. Plus using a new tool, or a tool that I discovered, that you discovered also, called Repurpose, which I'm going to be interviewing Hani at the end of this week. But we'll come back to that a little bit later on. One thing I wanted to talk about right now, just really quickly, is for people that are new to business, especially your age and my age, that have not quite understood all this internet stuff. Why? And this sounds like a stupid question, I know, but I just want to answer it really quick. Why is it important to have views on your videos?
Well, it's interesting because that actually is a good question for YouTube, because that used to be the kind of the yardstick by which your YouTube channel was kind of judged. But that's changed a bit recently, and now it's watch time. But in a way, they're interrelated, right? Because if nobody's viewing your video, you haven't got any watch time. So the way YouTube is now gauging how powerful or how relevant a channel is to add up all the numbers, all the minutes that people watch your videos. And the more people watch your videos, and if they watch your videos right through to the end, they're going to rank you. And the only way you are ever going to be seen is to get ranked. And that's the sad thing about the folks who don't do anything to make their videos be seen, because then they never are. They might see them because they know they're there, but nobody ever finds them. So views and watch time are really important, because that goes into the YouTube algorithm and it starts helping your videos be seen more often.
Yeah, I can see where watch time is important, because some people can be really good at giving a video a title and a really good description. They could be good at that. So somebody's going to go, well, this must be good. I'm going to click on it, right? They click on it and go, oh, this is crap, right? And so just because you're really good at making a title and description and maybe using all the tools that we're going to talk about here in a minute, doesn't necessarily mean that people are watching them. They clicked on it and immediately didn't like you, didn't like what you had to say, or your sound was bad, or your lighting's horrible to where you look like you're, trying to hide from somebody, and that kind of stuff. And so you have to have, all of those things. And so that's why I think the length of time somebody watching is a really good thing to look at in regard to whether a video is worth, YouTube sending out to the masses or not, and even showing, having you show up in their search engines. Yeah. You mentioned that YouTube is a powerful search engine, but what I understand is that Google owns 3 of the top 4 search platforms. Yeah. And I forget what the third one. I think Snapchat is maybe one of the other. Well, no. What is it? What is that third one that they don't own? Twitter? I don't know what it is.
No, I think it's Facebook that owns a lot of the platforms. But okay. If you still combine Google and YouTube, because Google does own YouTube, as we all know. I mean, that is like, that is power. And of course, you're ranking on YouTube. If you rank well on YouTube, then that spills over to ranking well on Google too, which is really valuable. And sorry, carry on, Andy.
I was going to say, okay, let's get right into it. Let's start looking at some of the things that you do to get so many people watching your videos.
Okay, well, we'll give it a try. And this is the first time I've used this new iteration of Webinar Jam. So Andy's going to yell at me if I don't get it right. So, and you don't see what I hope you're going to see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to briefly say, the that there is a system to SEOing your videos. And the reason that it helps a lot to SEO your videos is to get you seen. So there are keywords, there are different ways of having you build a presence on YouTube, which I'm going to go through. But it starts even before you upload your video to YouTube. And Andy and I were talking about this the other day, and we don't honestly know whether this makes a difference or not, because some people say it makes a huge difference and other people say it doesn't make any difference at all. But if you have a video on your desktop, it's always been my understanding that it is worth getting your keywords correct on that video before you even start uploading it to YouTube. So I'm going to share screen now, and fingers crossed, I will be able to show you my screen itself, my desktop. Can we see my desktop, correct?
Yes.
Good. Okay, so I have a video here, which is a talk that I gave to a women's group in town last year. And at the moment, it just has excerpt WWBN, which was West Shore Women's Business Network talk. So that is not a title that I would want to be seen on YouTube, because nobody's going to put in the keywords excerpt WWBN talk, right? They're just not going to do it. So what I would do, even before I upload my video, is I would come in here and I will do, obviously I'm on a Mac, Andy's on a Mac. If you're on a Mac, you go Control-I and you bring up this panel here, which has all the information about the video. Now, if you're on a PC, you go to Properties and you get exactly the same abilities. So what I would now do is I would add tags, and which are relevant to this video. And I was talking about, I can't really remember what I was talking about, it was a while ago, but if I was talking about video, I would put video, I would put video marketing, and whoops, I can't type, especially when people are watching. So just, you would put in all of the tags that you thought were relevant.
So just to make sure, after each one of those words, are you putting a comma or a enter?
No, you don't need to. As soon as you hit enter, it goes into its own thing. Okay. Certainly, you're right. In YouTube, you can do it that way. But when you're filling it up here, you don't need that. Now you come down here to name an extension. And I would change this at this point and say something like how to use the power of video in your business, right? Or maybe just how to use video in your business, because that's something that people might go to YouTube and put in the, put in the search box. Someone might say, oh, I wonder how I use video in my business, and they go and put that in the search box. So that would be a pretty good title. And then you can also put a little comment in, and I'm just going to say blah, blah here, but you could do, this video shows you dum-de-dum-de-dum. And so that would, again, give a little bit more information. And I would use the words video, and I would use the words video business again in my comment box, so that, again, I'm reinforcing the words that I want YouTube to basically use as keywords for me. And having done that, I would just save it. Yep.
Real quick, one thing about tags, and I have to have this question. Do you recommend using your name and your business name in any of those areas?
I do when I upload it into YouTube, but at this stage I don't.
Okay.
So I'll show you when we come to the tags in YouTube. I certainly would. So now I've changed that video, and I've now got a name that I think will be okay for uploading it to YouTube. So I try and get the name I'm going to use to be searched for in YouTube before I even upload it. Okay, now let's go to my YouTube channel, and I hope that has come up, correct?
It is good, yes.
Good. And now this is your YouTube channel, and I don't know how much you do, but if you have any questions, then put them in the box below, and we'll answer them over time now and as they come up. But and YouTube has recently changed, probably within the last month. It's changed its face here, and So I might still get a little bit lost on the new stuff. But this is the upload button. Okay, so I would upload my video now by going into here and then clicking and drag it into this area here. I'm not going to do that because I'm actually going to look at one of the videos that I have already, I have already uploaded, because we don't need to waste this time. But the one thing I do at this point is take it from public to unlisted. I never ever upload a video when it's public, because it could go public when you don't want it to. Okay, so let us go back to my YouTube channel and let us have a look at what I have done to search engine optimize some of my videos, because it has made a huge difference. Andy was telling you that he's, oh, I'm going to make, oh, I've got to shut the old video up. Okay. Andy was telling you he started his dog training channel a long time ago. So time matters with YouTube, because the longer you are, the longer your channel's there, the more views, the more subscribers you're going to get. I just started mine a few months ago, so I don't have as many subscribers, but already I'm building every day, and I'm getting, I think I got 35,000 views or something like that in just a few months. And I know it's because I'm now doing much more extensive SEO. The videos I had up before, they weren't getting so many views, but the new ones now are. So let me just look at my videos. This one hasn't so much. This is a recent one, but I will have a look and see what I have done here. Stop it. Okay. Which is,
I'm Carly Kloss, and I just...
Okay. So let us go to Video Manager, and they've moved this. So I might have to look around for a while.
So they should know also that what they're seeing on your page there, that you have a Google Chrome, what do you call it, extension? I forget what it's called. So we're looking at stuff that's on your page that may not be on their YouTube.
Yes, the chances are you don't have all this stuff on the right-hand side. This is comes up here. This is vidIQ. It is a plugin that gives you really extensive analysis and stats, not only of your own videos, but of every video that you ever look at. So you can look at what other people are doing, and you get a very, you get a huge wealth of information. I mean, that's one big rabbit hole if you wanted to go down there. Now, if you hit video, we will go to the back end of this video. So now, instead of looking at my YouTube channel, you are looking at the back end of my YouTube channel, okay? Where you would go once you've uploaded your video. So, you know, that little arrow we had up here, I changed to unlisted, you upload the video, and then it will appear on the page like this, okay? And on this one, this was a friend of mine. We were showing how you can multitask by having a nice afternoon out and talking about video at the same time, because we have little walkie-talkies on our bike helmets and create video at the same time. So we're basically multitasking while we're having a nice day along the beach. But here is the name that the name of the file when it was on my desktop, like the one you've just seen. It is also the name I have here. It is also the name I have here. So if someone looks at how to multitask, this video will come up. And we have here basic information, okay? I uploaded it as unlisted, but once I've done all the SEO, I change it back to public, but I don't change my video to public until I have done every single bit of SEO that I wish to do. So if you've got any questions, Andy, I'll look at what I do in terms of...
The only thing I was going to say is that raw file is the thing that Sue was talking about, that there's, I don't know if controversy is a good word. Yeah. There's just opinions, two differing opinions. And you can do your search yourself in Google. I've not really been able to find anything recent. Most of the discussions I found on whether that is necessary or not comes from like 2015 and 2016. So again, some people say that it's absolutely necessary, and there's others that say it's not necessarily whatsoever. So I think that might as well do it. It's not going to hurt.
Well, that's my feeling too. I mean, if there is any truth to it, I'd rather upload my video with words that are relevant to Google than, something like, 63492.mp4, which, is just a waste of time. So I always do that. And I'm going to keep doing it for now. Yep. Once you get into the back end of your YouTube channel here, you have really several areas to look at. You have info and settings, enhancement, audio, end screens and annotations. Well, annotations have already gone, so I don't know why they didn't get rid of that on their updates. Cards and subtitles. And I slowly work through each one of these 6 areas. So right now I'm in info and settings. It goes to whichever has the red line under it. It'll take a while to change because my poor little Mac struggles doing a whole load of multitasking things itself. So under basic information, you have, first of all, here your description. You have the name that you basically think is going to be the closest that anyone will put into YouTube to find what they're looking for. If they wanted to multitask, for example, then they would put in how to multitask or how do I multitask. Now, I'll be honest, this video is not one that I particularly want a lot of views on. We did it for a laugh. Cheryl Ann and I told we have to do a comedy channel together. So this is one of our kind of comedy videos. But even so, I use the words that I think people might be looking for. Then below that, you will always get your description. And the description is a very, very valuable area. And this is a place an awful lot of people really lose points if you want to look upon SEO as giving yourself points on how to be ranked by YouTube. This is an incredibly valuable area to help your SEO. Usually I start with some kind of link up here. I start with something where they can opt into usually a link to one of my landing pages where they can opt into my email list. I haven't done it here just as I say, this was just basically fun. Usually then I talk about a little bit more about what is in the video and I try to make it keyword rich. We have all the keywords at the bottom here. And I try to use my main keywords over and over again in this description so that, here we are, multitask, wherever I can. If you have an opportunity to put any links in here that would link to any affiliate links, then do so. Here, Cheryl Ann and I have got links to the Tirano bike radios that we were using, both US and Canadian links. We've got the link to the microphone we're using. We've got links to Holoclip that we were using, which is a way you can have wide angle. So anything that you can think of whereby you can link to an affiliate link or to something else that benefits you in some way, put it in here. And then at the end, I always do a whole load of little bit more SEO here, which I will come back to in a minute. So the description is very important. Try and make it keyword rich. Try and put in any affiliate links you can, and also a link to one of your landing pages or your website or wherever you would like someone to go to get more information about you and your products. Below that, we have the keyword area itself. And this is where you can have a list. Yeah, Mike, Andy, carry on.
Just real quick before you leave the description, is there any truth that your keywords should be in the first sentence or first couple sentences of that very first paragraph, or does it? Do you think it matters? Yeah,
you should try and put it immediately. Load them up the front, and some folks will say you really need to try and have your keywords maybe repeated 5 or 6 times within this description. And yes, certainly, you want it right in that first sentence. And as I say, this is not one that I wanted people particularly to SEO, but it was more of a fun one. But it did have a lot of affiliate links in it.
Yep. Okay.
When we come down to these to the keywords at the tags and keywords here are basically the same thing. There's discussion as to whether you should have 5, 7, 20. If you have a lot, eventually YouTube will say you've got too many. But this is a very valuable area again. This is where, as you mentioned earlier, Andy, I always have my name, I always have my website, and I have my friend's name and my friend's website as well. And because we were having fun here, we were marketing the local bike shop and everything else as well. But the ones that you will find when you have vidIQ, that it starts telling you which are the really popular keywords. Now, we're talking about multitasking here, but because we had the Tirano bike vid radios on, Tirano and Tirano systems is something that is searched for quite a lot. So although this video isn't at all about Tirano systems, it's going with these keywords. This video is going to be pulled into a lot of people who are not looking for multitasking, but also looking for Tirano too. And then I have the affiliate links up there that they can go and purchase. So I'm mixing two kinds of keywords in this particular video. I'm going to come back to keywords a little bit later. The next kind of category here is enhancements. And I'll be honest, I never really do anything here. I don't know about you, Andy. I find this is an area, actually, is this the bit they were going to close? This is basically YouTube's editing area, which I'll be honest is awful.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
I do. It's horrible.
It's horrible.
I've never been able to use it.
I totally agree. So, I mean, unless you're desperate and you don't know any other way to edit, I would just completely forget about this category totally. The next one is audio, which is fun because when we get to the audio area, you may not know this, but YouTube has a massive number of royalty-free and copyright-free video. And it has, I'm not going to go to the full page today, but there are thousands and thousands of tracks which you can use and download for free and with no worries about, someone coming along later and saying, oh, you've used my music, I'm going to sue you for $600,000, which can happen. So this is a very, very useful area. I don't know, do you use audio very much, Andy? I
do. I have Sonic Pro.
Oh, you got Sonic Pro. Yeah, I used to have audio tracks, and audio tracks, I think, audio, one of those, but I gave it up in the end, and I now use these because I personally find some music very distracting on videos and wish people wouldn't use it, so I don't use as much unless I need to. Now, the next one I think is powerful is end screens and annotations. As I said, annotations have now gone, but with end screens, come on, old girl, up you can come. Okay. With end screens, you can, at the end of your video, take people over to the next video that you want them to see. And that's a real big plus, because if you can keep them on your videos and you can have people seeing one video after another of yours, well, obviously your number of views goes up, your watch time goes up, and it's really a huge benefit. I mean, keep them on when you're on YouTube, either keep people on your page, on your YouTube channel, or take them to somewhere you want them to go, such as an opt-in, but don't let them go to anybody else, right? Because you want to keep people looking at your stuff, and that will rank you up higher and higher. So at the last, I think it's the last 20 seconds of a video, you can add what they call end screens, which is this little guy here, which says tech videos, 36 videos. And you can add several of them, but I just find the whole area just gets too messy if I add a whole load. But you're allowed to add different kinds of elements at the end. So you can add a video or a playlist. You can add a subscription, subscribe to my channel. You can add another channel. Andy's got several, so he could send people to other channels, or you can send a link to an approved website. And that's a separate issue, which we're not going to talk about today, is getting your website approved by YouTube. That will immediately help you rank more. So in this case, I decided I would put a playlist on. So I said create, and you can either do your most recent upload, which a lot of people do. One that best for viewer, if you're feeling lazy and you don't know what to put up, you can just say, okay, you choose YouTube, and YouTube will pick one for you, or you can choose a video or playlist. Well, I quite often will put in my tech video playlist, because if someone's already there learning something about tech, the chances are they'll want to go to another tech video. And you can vary when it's seen, but basically it comes up at the last 20 seconds of your video. And you can have share, you can have subscribe as well, but I usually will put that up elsewhere. And you can move these around. And I do, or maybe I didn't, usually there is a subscribe button down here, which I can't see at the moment, which should be there. So this again is a way of increasing, as I said, this is a way of increasing the number of views you get and the watch time. So end screens do definitely very, very useful. And because I changed it, I need to save again there. And now we will look at cards, which are another very useful way of keeping people on your website. They're similar to end screens, except end screens come up at the end. But cards are similar. How often have you seen this little eye that is sitting there up on the top right-hand corner of your video? They're pretty much always there for anyone who's serious about doing any kind of YouTube SEO. And when you click in it, it's the same kind of idea as an end screen. Another video or another link or wherever you want to send people to comes up. And you can add cards, you can add various ones, and you can add them at different times within the video. And it's similar. You can add a video of a playlist, and this time I've just added one video that Gary Vaynerchuk did of me doing his rant, or at least both of us doing his rant. You can add a channel. This is kind of cool, and you can actually do a poll, and you can gather information during your video. You can, if you can time it nicely and say, hey, I'm just going to put up a poll, please answer for me. And the little eye comes up and you point and say, hey, click the eye, and then up comes the poll. So you can see what your viewers want. Or again, there's always the link to the approved website. So I really like cards. They're very, very useful. The last category is subtitles. And I don't know if you know, but YouTube, good, I'm still quiet. YouTube does a transcription for every single video. This is absolutely massive. If you click on English Automatic, you will find up comes to the side here the file of all of what you said on the video. Now, Sue Ferreira always comes up as super area. So I would have to go in here and check, it always does. I would go in there and I could edit. You can edit straight off. Actually, you have to come down here to edit. Oh, come on, you're working slowly. You could edit down here. So I could edit Sue Ferreira here. You can edit the whole thing, or you can download it by coming up here to Actions. These are SRT files. So you click SRT, and now it's downloaded that entire file for me. I can open it in a text file, edit it, and re-upload it to YouTube. Very, very handy. Now, we all know that, see, there's old super area. Well, it is a super area I'm in, actually, but it's Sue Ferreira here from Wisdom 12th Mastery. We all know that, what's the stat now, Andy? 60 to 70% of videos are watched with the sound off. I think that's something like that.
Yes. Yep.
So basically, people are watching it at work when they shouldn't be, or they're watching it maybe on the train or something like that. They're usually, if they haven't got headphones. So it's really important to be able to have your closed captioning accurate. And I haven't done this because Cheryl Ann and I it's quite a long video and I put it up recently. So I could go back now and I could edit this and make this. In fact, I think I'll do that. I'll go back and edit it and make this absolutely accurate. It's a pain. In a way, I'm thinking in the future of getting someone to do this for me, but it doesn't take me that long. It would probably take me about 10 minutes to edit this one and get the text.
Did you say, are you able to edit it in Word, did you say?
What I usually do, Andy, is edit it in text on a regular text file. You know that
Does it have does it have the ability to do one of those things, replace all? So you can write Sue Ferreira replace all super area with. Does it allow you to do that?
I'd have to do it on each individual video, I think. Right? I don't think I could do it as like a global command.
No. Just in the editing of one set of closed caption.
Yeah, certainly you could do that. Yeah, you could do replace all. Yeah.
Yeah, because there's certain words I know that the way that I say them, they always replace it with something. I can't remember what that word is, but there's something that I say that Facebook doesn't recognize in their closed captioning, nor YouTube. And I don't know. It must be my accent, my California accent.
Yeah, that's right. Your strange California accent. There's only 33 million of you speaking that. So, but never mind.
All right, continue.
Yeah, no, it's so this is a really, really useful way of, again, making. I mean, basically what you're trying to do is let YouTube know you're a serious player. Mike Koenigs has taught Andy and I a lot of our video. And I remember Mike saying probably about 2 years ago, you've got about 2 years before everybody piles in and it becomes much more competitive. And a lot of this SEO now is because that has in fact happened. And it has become more competitive. There was a time when you just fling up a video and it would get ranked, but that doesn't happen anymore. And I'm not saying don't do it, but if you really want to have a presence now on YouTube with only a little bit of work, it takes me maybe 25 minutes to really SEO a video. I know how to do it quickly, and it's worth every single little bit of effort that I put into it. And that is telling YouTube that you're serious. You really want to be seen on YouTube and you want to be ranked. So those are the 6 areas that you can rank your video and make it much better. So let us go back to info and settings. And the other way you can make your video look better is here on the thumbnails. The YouTube will always pick 3 thumbnails from the video itself. It picks ones that it thinks looks okay. But I always create a custom thumbnail, and the custom thumbnail is always here at the bottom. I create a thumbnail elsewhere. I always put the title up. I try to make it look as though it's noticeably me. In fact, I've just redone all of these in the last couple of days. And again, it shows YouTube you're serious, and that way you can just rank yourself a little bit higher by making your YouTube channel look decent. The last little ninja trick I have is if you go to YouTube, say, and you followed me here, I hope, Andy, this picture's coming up. And I put in the words, how to multitask, I will get a whole load of different videos coming up. I will get videos, how to multitask and automate new habits, how to multitask effectively. Now, if I look at these videos, this guy's got 37,000 views. This one's got 30,000 views, 140,000 views. Wouldn't it be nice if I could kind of use these videos and help them rank me as well, which in fact you can do, because I can take the name of this video, the URL really, and I can copy it.
45 seconds. I'm going to show you how my buddy Justin generates nearly $500,000.
Come on, turn off. I can take this URL. I can come back to my YouTube, and I can add that URL down the bottom here to my description. Okay. So now I am, because I have his URL in here, it's now in my description. So they're going to cross-reference each other. And I do this for the top 3 videos that turn up in YouTube on a, go to a different link, go to a totally different link. In fact, in a way, it's probably better even to go to an incognito page and put in your keywords, your description, your headline, and see what comes up elsewhere from YouTube. And take the top 3 videos that have got a decent number of views and put them in your description down here at the bottom. You can also find out what their keywords are. You can actually do it through vidIQ, but I'm going to show you a way that you can also find out the keywords. So you do Control and click anywhere in the blank area. You get View Page Source. And now I can find their keywords. So if you put keywords in the search box, here are their keywords. And so I can copy and paste their keywords, and then I can paste them into my keyword box on YouTube. And obviously some of these I'm not going to want. Patrick Bet-David or best channel for entrepreneurs. Some of those words I won't want, but sometimes or frequent you find more valuable keywords that you can use, which will help your own SEO. So I do that for the top 3 videos as well that turn up on my YouTube search. And that is pretty much all of the SEO that I do. I do one more thing, and that is when you go to your YouTube, I always in the comment box ask a question. Say with this video, I ask a question in my own, I don't know if I did it with this one. Come on, old girl, you can do this. It's slow.
Come on.
I need a new Mac. Come on. You can do this. Okay. And I might not have done it with this video. As I say, I wasn't really serious. Yeah, I did. So I come down here and I start the comments.
Do you want to know how to multitask and
Okay. So I come down and I actually start the conversation going, because once there's something there and you ask a question, you start getting a pile of engagement. And this is well worth doing for every single video that you ever upload. Start the comments by making some nice comment and something relevant to the video, and you will start getting engagement. And engagement is another thing that YouTube looks at. So that's my overall view of how I would SEO any video that I put up. Andy, any questions?
No. Can you do that for me?
Well, I'm going to get someone to do it for me, I tell you. I mean, it is, I'm just going to turn my screen sharing off. It is quite a lot, isn't it? But it's worth it. And it seems a lot when you first talk about it, but when you get used to it, you can do it extremely quickly.
No, that's definitely powerful stuff. I like that last tip. I didn't, I don't know why I'm getting feedback now. I didn't get that before. That's weird. I don't know how to stop it.
That's interesting, yeah, because I can't hear the feedback. Sometimes you can. I'll just add one extra thing. One extra point is, don't feel that just because you've got a whole load of videos up there that haven't got this SEO, don't worry. If you go back in, and in fact, I've got oodles of videos, and I try to at least do another 2 a week. Like I'll put aside Tuesday evening is SEO, one of my videos that I haven't done this on. And if you go back and retroactively do all of this SEO, you will find it suddenly starts picking up views, and it makes a big difference too.
Yep. So that is, I mean, I got to start doing that with some of my stuff for sure. One of the tools that I talked about early on was something called Repurpose. And I went ahead and put the URL for you to click on that will save you some of that time. Some of the time in regard to Facebook Live videos is that before I was downloading my Facebook Live videos, I was then sometimes editing them, sometimes not, and then then uploading them into YouTube and then repurposing them in YouTube. I was also doing it in Vimeo, and I was doing it in some other platforms. Well, this tool called Repurpose does it all for you automatically. Once we finish this Facebook Live will automatically go into my YouTube channel. It will be it'll go into my Dropbox and my Google Drive, because I have other uses for this video that I will use them for in Kajabi and some other stuff, which Kajabi loves Dropbox. So it is a great tool. I'm going to be interviewing Hani, who is the creator of Repurpose, and we're going to be talking about that tool. One of the things I discussed with Sue, and then later on discuss with Hani, is that issue with the raw file. And what he's told me is that he's going to come up with a solution on how to make that. Currently, it goes in as unknown, but he's going to work on a solution to make sure that the name of your Facebook Live will go into that raw file instead. So I think it's a really good tool. It's fairly new, so that means it's not as expensive as I'm sure that it will be eventually. And so I would go ahead and click on that link and get started. You can use it for free to begin with, so I would use that. But it fits perfectly, and this is kind of how Sue and I got in this whole discussion. It fits perfectly in the fact that you need to be on YouTube. If you're going to take the time to do Facebook Lives, you might as well get them into YouTube, and you should probably make them powerful enough that people begin to start watching them and doing some of these things that Sue suggested that you do. And I think once you get going on it, it probably gets easier. In the beginning, it seems like it's very complex and in the butt. I would guess there's some things you could probably cut and paste. Are there some things like I mean, a little bit. I guess the title's always going to be unique. The description's probably always going to be unique. Maybe the tags. Maybe there's some tags in there.
I'll tell you what I always copy and paste is in another little text file. I always have all of my, I didn't show you that, but in the description box, I have all of my social media links. And I also have a file of the most commonly used keywords that I have. I like video marketing, Sue Ferreira, wisdom to wealth mastery. I have those and a whole load more because it's actually quicker to copy and paste them into the keyword area than get rid of the ones you don't want rather than think of each individual one you want to put in. So I just paste them in and get rid of stuff.
Yeah. And then if you come up with any solutions that speed this thing up, let us know so that way we can talk about it, because there's some things there's no way around, right? It's like people that want to be millionaires and they think, well, I just want to be a millionaire. I just want to do this thing, become a YouTube celebrity. All of this takes work. I mean, there's some aspect of just about everything we do, whether it's putting on this Facebook Live and entering in the information so that we can go live. There's going to be some things that you just can't get around. I think we've gotten caught up in this world that we just keep thinking there's got to be some solution where I don't have to do anything to be famous or to make money.
No pixie dust, no magic witch dust, no Halloween dust, nothing that's going to work. No, it's inputting it.
There's some good tools like Repurpose that automatically now I don't have to put anything up, and that's fantastic. They'll come up with some solutions, but until then, you're still going to have to do some work. So just deal with it, and that's just life. And there's nothing that I or Sue can help you with on that. But knowing this now, I think it's all important. If you're going to take the time to do it, just don't do it and then have nobody watching. Then why bother, right? Yeah. So take the time to put in a really good title. Put in your keywords where they need to be and your tags, and then some of these other tricks that Sue mentioned, and just do it. And again, it'll get easier. Everything gets easier once you start doing it.
Yeah, I also, whenever I'm teaching anyone, I actually already have all of this set up in a video. So I give them the video, and I'm about to do one on how to outsource this as well. So those are your other options to free up your time, is to outsource it to someone, and that's coming up next.
Yeah, I have an 11-year-old that I'm grooming to be my. He can surely do this kind of stuff. He can read it right now. He can start doing some of this crap for me. That's a good
idea. You have to pay him third world wages, no doubt.
Yeah, he likes to go. Yeah, he likes. I built a skateboard ramp for him, a half pipe. That's his pay. I take him to these video games things, and he gets video games. So that's his pay. So, Sue, that was a lot of information. I mean, we could actually probably build a product around what you just did. And as a matter of fact, I think I will. I think I will build a product around it. I'll give you a little bit. I'll give you a couple pennies. A couple, what are they called? Loonies. I'll give you some loonies.
We've got enough of them up here. I can do with a few more. It'll be fine. Yeah, that's great.
I'm glad we got this working too. We had a little issue on, it wasn't Webinar Jam. I was going to say Webinar Jam, but it's not Webinar Jam's fault. Apparently, my other computer, I could not hear Sue. So we were going to go live last week. And I just had one of those things. And that's another thing that you have to deal with. And that's, the technical issues that come up. And we dealt with it. We just said, well, wait. And I found a solution. So here we are. All right. So for the Facebook Live TV show, this is Andy. This is Sue. I think you did a great job in explaining all that we need to do in regard to SEO. I really appreciate your time. And when I find out when I'm going to be going up to Victoria, I will let you know, because I just got that case. So
that would be wonderful.
All right, gang. So when you're watching the replay, make sure and put your name in there. Your name is automatically put in there. Put who you're, where you're watching from. If you have any questions, I'll forward them on to Sue. I'm going to share this obviously with Sue so she can put it on her social media. So that, and that's one thing you want to do, right? Whoever you're interviewing, you give them the information that they need to post it on their Facebook, and that way you can expand onto somebody else's audience, which is fantastic.
And of course, I will promote Andy, so it keeps going.
Yeah. So all this is important stuff. All right, that's it. We're going to sign off. And Sue, have a great evening, and I will be talking to you soon.
My pleasure. Hope it was worth it, and see you all soon. Bye-bye.
All right, bye. See you guys.